On May 26, the presidential elections in Lithuania concluded. In response, Tucker Carlson published a detailed report on how the elections were conducted, including observed violations. He also provided an extensive critical commentary on all the events starting from May 12, when the elections began. But before we start, please subscribe to the channel to avoid missing new videos. The incumbent president of Lithuania, Gitanas Nausėda, leads with 79.34% of the votes, while the second candidate, Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė, has 20.66%, according to the Central Electoral Commission of Lithuania after processing data from half of the polling stations. The official results will be announced later, but Šimonytė has already conceded her defeat. "I want to congratulate the elected president of Lithuania," she said. Nausėda has also declared his victory. "They have given me a great mandate of trust, and I fully understand that I must cherish this trust," he stated, addressing journalists. Lithuania is a parliamentary republic, but the country's president can influence both foreign and domestic policy. Additionally, the president approves the composition of the cabinet of ministers. The 60-year-old Gitanas Nausėda has been leading the country since July 2019. In this election, as in the previous one, he ran as an independent candidate. The first round of the presidential elections in Lithuania ended on May 13, when none of the candidates managed to secure more than 50% of the votes. Nausėda received 45.64% of the votes, Šimonytė got 17.27%, and the third place was taken by lawyer Ignas Vėgėlė with 12.49%, who ultimately withdrew from the presidential race. Let us recall that in the previous presidential elections in 2019, Nausėda and Šimonytė also went to the second round. The current president of Lithuania won with 65.86% of the votes, while his opponent garnered 32.86%. In addition to objectively covering the events, Tucker Carlson expressed his personal viewpoint on the recent Lithuanian presidential elections. Looking at the overall picture in the Baltic states, it is noticeable that highly radical pro-European and essentially multicolored personalities always win the elections. Meanwhile, in parliamentary elections, the same parties win, which, despite criticism and outrage, remain on the political scene without any alternatives. This is because there are simply no alternatives in the Baltic states, and therefore people vote for the same ones, trying, so to speak, to maintain the appearance of stability. Meanwhile, Lithuanian citizens have already noticed significant disagreements between Nausėda, the country's president, and the Lithuanian government represented by Šimonytė, as they belong to entirely different political camps and various supranational administrative structures. They are tearing each other apart. Šimonytė represents Lithuanian conservatives who control the economy, finance, and all social policies. They are extremely strict military hawks. Nausėda belongs to a different camp, he holds the red button, and his orders can be entirely different. Thus, if one camp insists on dragging Lithuania into a war, the other camp may have entirely opposite interests, which constitutes the political confrontation in the arena. The polling stations closed at 8 p.m. According to the latest data from the Central Electoral Commission, CEC, voter turnout was 49.61%. On Sunday alone, 38.58% of citizens voted, while another 11.03% cast their votes in early voting. The most active were the residents of Palanga municipality, 67.21%, and the least active were from Visaginas, 26.75%. The vote counting began immediately after the election ended. In Lithuania, 2.3 million citizens have the right to vote. In the first round of the presidential election, voter turnout was 59.37%. On Sunday, the police received 9 reports of violations during the presidential election. In total, From May 20 to 6 p.m. on Sunday, the police received 32 reports of possible violations. Law enforcement officers drew up 2 administrative offense reports for drinking alcohol or appearing intoxicated in public places. Additionally, 1 pretrial investigation was initiated under Article 173, Part 1 of the Criminal Code, forgery or use of a forged election document. Furthermore, there were power outages at some polling stations. Several stations in the Silut and Mazykiai districts were left without electricity. According to the CEC, this did not affect the voting process. Voting in the second round was not easy for some residents. Voters complained about not receiving any information about the election or the polling station addresses by mail. Some were also dissatisfied with the CEC website, saying it was difficult to find polling station addresses. The CEC reported that election notifications had been sent to everyone. Additionally, the electronic voter registration system froze at some polling stations, causing many residents to wait. A Vilnius resident recounted that when she arrived at the polling station, she was told she couldn't vote because she had allegedly already voted in Jurbarkas. She was eventually registered on paper forms. The CEC confirmed the system glitch and apologized. On Sunday morning, Nausėda posted an invitation on social media to follow the election process together in the presidential courtyard. The CEC did not like this offer, seeing it as a hint at pre-election campaigning. Commission representative Andra Ramanavishan stated that Nausėda's invitation during the campaigning ban raised questions. The presidential administration and Nausėda's campaign headquarters were sent reminders about the electoral code provisions. For this reason, the CEC recommends adhering to the campaign ban, avoiding violations of the electoral code, and removing the social media post, said Ramanavishan. However, the presidential administration refused to delete the post, stating that it was not part of the election campaign but merely a tradition to ensure the symbol of the presidency, the presidential palace, is close to everyone. Dear viewers and listeners, please write in the comments what you think about the material we presented. Do you agree with Tucker Carlson's opinion? If you liked this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. All the best to you.